Win as one. EA Sports FIFA 21 sponsors Saturday Social.
So the transfer window slammed shut this week. Finally, I'm absolutely delighted as a Manchester United fan not to have to listen to any more transfer rumours about my club. But it does give us a great opportunity to run through each and every club's transfer window and the impact it's going to have on their season coming up. I'm going to ask, well, what was going to be Bayo and Chunkz, but just Chunkz at the moment, a question. You have 60 seconds to answer it, and then we'll discuss a little bit more. You ready, Chunkz? Should we just crack straight on?
Let's go, brother.
All right, we're starting with your beloved Arsenal then, bro, because you had a busy deadline day. And I want to know, will Thomas Partey get Arsenal top 4 this season? You've got 60 seconds. Let's run it.
I feel like with the fact that he signed on the last day, which I never like, I just like when teams get their business done early on in the season so then the player can mesh well with the team. Because obviously, if we just signed him within the first couple of weeks of the transfer season, or the deadline, the window opening, basically, I feel like he would have maybe made more of an impact as the time goes on. But now it's going to be more difficult. And there's loads of teams that are competing for that top 4. So it's going to be difficult. Obviously, I support Arsenal, so I'm going to say yes. We'll get us top 4. But it's going to be a difficult one.
You obviously also signed Willian, you signed Gabriel, you signed Ceballos. But do you think the most meaningful bit of business is probably actually the Aubameyang contract?
Guaranteed, brother. That's the player that's going to get you maybe almost 30 goals a season in all competitions. So I feel like that's definitely our best bit of business, signing Aubameyang. But I don't know. I just need more creativity in the midfield, to be honest, man.
Ooh. Chunkz nailed that. Hopefully Bayo will be with us, or you're going to have a lot of talking to do, mate, in the next 20 minutes or so. Next up,
I'll be honest, mate. Yeah, that's going to be long.
Aston Villa spent 85 million in the window. Aston Villa, perfect start to the season. Of course, 3 wins from 3, and of course that's 7-2. Who'd have thought that victory against Liverpool? So the question we are asking is as follows. This is our second talking point. Of course, we're doing these in alphabetical order. So what was Aston Villa's best bit of business? Chunkz, will come to you here first. Emi Martinez from Arsenal, of course. Ollie Watkins. But is Jack Grealish signing a new contract? Will that be the one that Villa fans are most happy with, do you think?
I reckon, I'm not being biased, but Emi Martin has signed. No, I'm joking. Emi Martin is a great signing. But the fact that they kept on Jack Grealish is the most important bit of business, because I feel like he was one of the main reasons that they stayed up last year. So to then confirm that he's now going to be there for another, 5 years contract? What was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So
where do you think they can finish?
Be important in their future.
Where do you think they can finish, Chunkz? Because narrowly avoiding relegation. Do you look at Villa as a lot higher this season with the start they've had?
Nah, bro. You know what I mean? I feel like Aston Villa are a good team. They're a Premier League side, so I feel like maybe 15th, 16th.
Okay, 15th or 16th. Grealish, best bit of business. That concludes Villa.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that, to be totally honest. Let's move on then to Brighton, because they've started the season pretty well, playing some nice football, but haven't got the results under Graham Potter. Not an awful lot of business, but I want to know, what is the best possible finish for Brighton this season, Chunkz?
So obviously I think they finished 15th last year, bro. So I reckon, yeah.
Oh, he's back. Bayo's back.
Is he back?
Bayo.
He's back. There we go. Hey. Bayo, quickly, 42 seconds. Brighton, best possible finish for Brighton from your car. What are you saying, Bayo?
Top half finish, top 10. I think they've started well. I'm having Lamptey. I think he's got a bright future. And the way they play football, I think they pushed United all the way. So I think top half finish will be a good season for them.
Yeah, you see, you
think their best bit of business? Do you think their best bit of business was probably signing Ben White on a new deal, Beto?
Nah, my guy Lallana.
Oh, yeah, from Liverpool.
Yeah, my guy Lallana. I'm biased like that. My guy Lallana. But no, Ben White, I played against Ben White at Peterborough. So good player.
Okay, perfect. Great to have you back, Bayo. Next up, it's Burnley. Now, Burnley have been the quietest of all the Premier League teams. They did sign Dale Stevens from Brighton for an undisclosed fee, but it's believed that it is £0 in terms of net spend. So the question we are asking is as follows. There are a lot of clubs have spent big in the summer, as we know. The question we're asking is this. Will Burnley get punished for not spending big? Bayo, let's go to you to kick this off. What do you make of Burnley's business, or lack of, should I say?
Listen, I think sometimes you always feel like you need to add to your squad when sometimes you don't need to. Look, their manager will know better than most that what he needs. But the Premier League is always evolving. Teams are always getting big. And listen, only in time will they know. So I'm going to sit on the fence with this.
Sit on the fence. Chunkz, Burnley finished 10th last season. Are you going to sit on the fence like Bayo did? Where do you think they can finish this year,
I
mate?
need to be careful about what I've said because you see that clip about me talking about Everton. It's already gone viral, so I'm very worried already now. So I'm going to be careful with what I say. I'll say Burnley, Premier League proven team. They've done it for quite a bit of time now. So will they get punished? I don't know. I don't think so.
On the fence.
Love
Sit
that.
on the fence, yeah? Come join me on the fence.
Right,
Firmly got a few.
It's because I was talking rubbish about Everton, bro.
Got a few
Yeah, I do that all
splinters
the
in his
time.
backside, Chunkz, today. Right, let's move on to the next club then. Chelsea, they've spent over £200 million this summer. But we want to know, are Frank Lampard's Chelsea now title contenders? Are you worried, Bayo?
Not of Chelsea, and that's going to come back to bite me. I already know. But not. I think that I think it's very hard to get that many new signings to gel that quickly to win the title. That's just what I think.
Good point.
I think they are a force to be reckoned with. I do think top four needs to be minimum for Chelsea. But do I think they've got enough Premiership nous to win the Premier League? No. But again, what the hell do I know? But they're not the ones that I'm worried about for taking our crown.
Chunkz, do you think Frank Lampard is the man to lead this group of superstars to a title, or do they need to get someone else in?
No, definitely. Like he hasn't done anything wrong to a point where you need to sack the guy. So I feel like give him some time with the players and let him find out his best 11, and they could potentially be title contenders.
Okay, next up it is Crystal Palace. Palace fans will know that Michy Batshuayi came in on loan, but the one that is really exciting, one that all Eagles fans are talking about, is Eberechi Eze from QPR, 5-year deal. So the question we are asking is, will Eberechi Eze adapt to life in the Premier League? Bay, I've got to come to you first here, because on another show that we did together, you described this man as one of the best youngsters that you've ever seen in the game. So kick us off with this one, mate.
Listen, I don't want to say like I'm the oracle, but I did say 2 years ago he'll make it to the Prem.
You did.
And I stand by it. I mean, of course, he's made it to the Prem, but I'm more than confident to go with that. He's going to adapt to the Premier League. I think he's exciting. Of course, he's gone to a team which I think needed a new change in the sense of younger players, and I think he's perfect to spearhead Crystal Palace going forward in the future.
Chunkz, do you agree with Bayo? Can you see him being a big signing for them?
Definitely, because obviously QPR didn't manage to get promoted last season, but he managed to promote himself with how well he was playing last year. So I feel like, he's going to adapt perfectly, and he looks exciting already. He's starting to get some starts, so I can't wait to see what happens.
All right, moving on to the team that are currently top of the Premier League, 12 points from 12. It's Everton, obviously brought in James Rodriguez. So I want to know, was James Rodriguez the best signing of the transfer window? Bayo, let's come to you first. A rival club, what are you saying?
Listen, if the season was 4 games long, then you would say yeah. But it's not. And I may be a bit sour out here because when Everton always jump on me when I talk about Everton. But no, listen, Everton's good, and I think the mark of a good player is to make everybody around you play better. And I think that's what he's done. He's brought in confidence. Listen, there was never a doubt about his ability. So listen, it's a good signing, and Everton will do bits this season. As much as it hurts me to say, and I know Tony Belly will be laughing and smiling, but they will be doing bits this season.
And obviously they've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front, Bayo. Do you think he's just going to get better and better this season with James in behind him?
Yeah, listen, confidence is massive. I don't think there was ever a doubt about Calvert-Lewin's ability. There was never a doubt. It was always, can he consistently do it over a period of time? And listen, he started now on fire. So listen, good luck to him. And I think he will continue to score goals.
Okay, next up, Fulham. Not been a great start for Fulham, as we know. Rock bottom, 4 losses from 4. And of course, we saw those tweets from the owner as well, apologising for the fans and talking about the transfer activity that Fulham have had, trying to buy certain players, but not getting some over the line. But the question we want to answer, one that they did get in, was Ruben Loftus-Cheek. So can Ruben Loftus-Cheek Fulham in the Premier League? 60 seconds on the clock. Chunkz, what do you think about this one? Good signing for Fulham, or do you still worry for them?
His face.
I'll be honest with you. Fulham. I don't remember the last time they came in the Premier League and managed to stay in there, bro. Like on my life, I'm not getting onto you lot. Please just allow me on social media, please. Thank you. But nah, man, I don't know. For some reason, they just can't stay in the Premier League, bro. Like I don't remember the last time they've done like a 3 years in the Premier back to back. So nah, I don't think Ruben Loftus-Cheek can help them, man. Only God can help them.
There we go. There's Chunkz' thoughts. Bayo, do you agree with Chunkz' loan signing a call for Ruben Loftus-Cheek? Is there any hope for Fulham fans listening and watching this right now?
Yeah, and there is, man. Not as.
Nah,
listen,
stop
Chunkz
lying, man.
Nah, Chunkz ain't giving them no hope. I'm giving them hope. I'm telling you. Look, one.
Who's gonna leave them,
I
bro?
want as
There's
many
only gonna be
London
3
clubs.
teams.
What?
Oh,
right.
I
I want as many London clubs as possible. No, what I'm trying to say is they're new. The reason why I think that they're a little bit like Wickham. They've got promoted and they're favourites to get relegated. But listen, if they've got the belief and they stick together, anything can happen. So Fulham's going to stay up, man.
Just blowing straight through the time limit there. I absolutely love to see it. Right, let's move quickly on to Leeds, who are up next. I want to know, where will Leeds finish in the league this season with £84.5 million spent? Chunkz, where do you think Leeds are going to end up?
Bielsa won't finish lower than 12th. They're going to finish in the top 12, and he's going to show why he's one of the best managers in the world. Because the way that the people speak about him, it's like he's this, you know what I mean, titan. So I want to be able to see what he can achieve. They've already been playing some good football. Was it a draw against Manchester City? So you know what I mean. I reckon they're going to go toe to toe with the big teams and manage to get a top 12 finish, in my opinion.
Obviously, Bayo, you've already seen Leeds in action at Anfield. Were you impressed by Bielsa's side?
Very much so. They've got a freedom, they've got a hungerness, they've got an intensity which they play with. But I am curious to see them the second half of the season. I think they're riding on momentum, and I think teams are unsure about them right now. But I want to see how they finish the second half of the season. But I agree, I do think they'll finish top half, but I am curious to see how they finish second half of the season.
Okay, let's go straight on to Leicester now. Ben Chilwell out the door, but Timothy Castagne through the door. Belgian international, 21.5 million, which a lot of people are saying is a bit of a bargain. Looks the real deal. 1 goal, 2 assists from him already. Leicester doing well as well. So the question we are asking is Timothy Castagne one of the bargains of the window? Bayo, straight to you with this one. What have you made of this signing?
Listen, good, man. Everybody wants to hit the ground running when you sign for a new club. Got him for 21 million. They sold Chilwell for 50. So even that's a good bargain with money in the bank. But at the same time, it's only 4 games gone. But if you're going off the first 4 games, then I'll have to say, yeah.
Yeah, very good signing indeed. A big fan of his. Chunkz, looking at Leicester, obviously had a great start to the season. They tailed off a little bit towards the end, but it was still a positive season. Where do you look at Leicester, and where do you think they can finish this season?
I don't think you can never write off Leicester, man. They just do the most unthinkable stuff. So I reckon they're going to maybe get like a top 10 finish again. You know what I mean? For some reason, it was fall short of Europe. I feel like maybe like an 8th finish, 9th. But yeah, they'll definitely do well, definitely.
Right, moving on to your beloved Liverpool now then, Bay. Obviously got hammered by Aston Villa last week, but you were without the likes of Mane, Alisson and Thiago. So I want to know, can Thiago lead you to back-to-back Premier League titles?
Joe, don't do that, bruv. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. All right. Yeah, listen, you know what? Yes, I do. I think we can do it again. I think we missed. Listen, I think Henderson's a massive miss. Mane, massive miss. Ellison, massive miss. Thiago, massive miss. Even saying that, we should not get beat 7-2 by anybody. But I'll just come back I'll come back and say, look, yes, do I think, yeah? I think we can. I think he can. I think that's the quality we need to come through the door. Jota as well, just so nobody's complacent. So, yeah, I do.
Very quickly then, you also just mentioned Alisson there. He's out for 6 to 8 weeks. Are you happy with Adrian between the sticks?
Listen, I don't want to disrespect nobody because I know what it takes to get to where they got to. Am I happy? No, because I think Alisson's the best keeper in the world at the moment. But I think he will step up and man up. He'll have to. I'm going to go and see him.
Okay, but slightly over the time again. Right, we need to move straight on to Man City. Here is the question we're talking about with Man City. It involves Ruben Diaz, 60 seconds on the clock. Chunkz, let's talk Man City. Is Ruben Diaz the answer? As we spoke last week, Pep Guardiola spent over 400 million on defenders alone. So this one has to work, doesn't it?
I see it more as a panic buy. Obviously, I don't know much about Ruben Diaz anyway, but for them to spend X amount of money on him and no one's heard about him is a bit dangerous, bro. But obviously, that's not going to be like a accurate representation. But then that's like, I don't know, man. I don't feel like he's going to be the player. Like, well, I don't know much about him, so I'm not going to say he's not going to be the answer to their defensive problems. But yeah, like I said, I feel like Pep just needs to get a solid back line and just know what he wants. Because like you said, 400 million is way too excessive, bro. I don't think Arsenal spent 400 million in the last 5 years. So, you know what I mean?
Chunkz, you worry about the likes of John Stones and other players for game time?
Yeah, I reckon he should have got a loan move in the transfer market because I don't know how much game time he's going to be getting when they've got so many centre-backs. It's worrying.
Perfect time, right, love that.
Moving on to the red half of Manchester now. Had a horrible weekend and then a very busy deadline day, signing 4 players, including Edinson Cavani. Bayo, will Edinson Cavani be a Falcao flop or an Ibrahimovic for Manchester United?
I don't know. Listen, I think he'll do better than Falcao. Don't jump on it and say that's not that hard, but I think he'll do better than Falcao. I think it's hard to have the same impact that Ibra has because I just think he's a unique specimen. But I do think he'll do well for them and maybe not even just on the pitch, off the pitch. So I think it's a good signing.
Do you think that is the area that needed to be addressed though at Manchester United or was central defence a much more pressing problem?
Yeah, man. I mean, again, Chunkz alluded to it. I think it was a panic buy. I think that they looked around and didn't do no transfer, so they just wanted a name because that's not the area they needed. They needed to sort out their defence. But who am I, man? They can keep their defence. I don't want them to do. I don't want them to succeed.
Oh, very harsh. I mean, obviously I do, so I don't want to hear that. Not going to lie, Bayo.
There we go. Right, moving straight on. Newcastle fans, this is the question we're asking about your transfer window, and it is focused on one particular signing. Here it is. Of course, we are talking that Callum Wilson got off to a great start. We want to know, where will Callum Wilson's goals take Newcastle? Chunkz, this was a good signing for Newcastle, wasn't it?
Solid signing. I've always liked Callum Wilson. I remember when he was linked to United, I thought that was going to be a good signing there. But yeah, Callum Wilson, Premier League proven. I feel like his goals are going to help Newcastle maybe push up in the ladder of the table, because I feel like Newcastle are a solid Premier League team and they should be trying to aim for the 10 to 15 region, maybe even 9th. Like, I haven't seen them do that in quite a while. So yeah, Newcastle, Callum Wilson's goals is going to take them hopefully higher up the table. And I do like Newcastle as well, so I do hope them the best.
Chunkz, do you think Newcastle fans will be happy? Because on the one hand, they have put in Jamal Lewis, Ryan Fraser, Jeff Hendrick, Callum Wilson. It's positive. But on the other hand, 4 months earlier, they were linked with Mbappe with the takeover. So it's a tough one to know where Newcastle fans stand, isn't it?
No, but I'll be honest, like, you can't. When I heard that, I was like, come on, I'll just not yet. Like, wait a bit. Mbappe, Callum Wilson, the new Mbappe.
Oh, there we go.
Let's move on. The next club up, Sheffield United. They did have a rather quiet window, but they did bring in Liverpool youngster Ryan Brewster. So, Bear, I want to know from you, will Ryan Brewster be a success at Sheffield United?
Yeah, I think he's a born goal scorer. I still keep in contact with people down at Swansea, and his goals got him into the playoffs. So I think he's a born goal scorer. So as long as the chances are created, I think he'll score goals. So I think he'll do well.
So if you're Ryan Brewster this season and you just joined Chris Wilder's Sheffield United, what sort of tally would you be looking to set yourself in terms of a goal mark? Do you want to get to 10? Do you want to get to 15 in your first season?
I always think you want to get to double figures first and foremost. I think it's good because it shows he could have sat at Liverpool, but he wants to better himself, better his career, get some game time and score some goals. So you'll have to always start, listen, I want to get double figures and then go on from there.
Chunkz, what are your thoughts very quickly on Ryan Brewster's move?
That's my boy. I know he's going to do very well. He's an absolute baller, honestly. So I hope him the best, and I know he's gonna deliver. Hopefully, he gets the minutes that he deserves.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, top lad is Rian. Next up is Southampton. Chunkz, got to come to you first because he's a former Arsenal man that got the Saints fans talking. We're talking Theo Walcott. And the question we're asking, minute on the clock, was Theo Walcott good business for Southampton? Chunkz, Arsenal fan as we know you are, what did you make of this one? On loan, of course.
Premier League legend. I feel like Theo Walcott he's a solid player. He's always going to give you the goals. He's going to give you assists. Going to give you the runs. I do like Theo Walcott a lot, man. So like when he even left Arsenal, I was upset. So I feel like it's a good bit of business for any Premier League side, especially someone like and Southampton. No disrespect, but obviously Southampton's level. I feel like it's gonna work perfect for him. It's gonna be a good suit, and obviously he's going back home because he used to play for Southampton when he was a kid. So yeah, I think it's a great bit of signing.
Bayo, Theo Walcott's very excited about it. It is a loan move. With the influx of players that Everton have had, do you think he has a future back at Everton after this loan move, or can you see this being made permanent?
I feel like this is his starting point to go back to Southampton. I think Everton's going into a different direction, and I think his experience is going to be key. Even what he does, like no matter what he does on the pitch, his experience will be key.
All right, we're moving on then to your beloved Tottenham Hotspur then, Smithy. A good weekend and an even better window. But midweek, I did hear Harry Redknapp say that Tottenham can win the league. So I want to know, will Gareth Bale push Spurs to become title contenders? Chunkz, I want to come to you first on this one, actually, as an Arsenal fan. Do you agree with Redknapp?
It burns me to say this, brother, but I'll be honest. Jose Mourinho, with the team he has, the players available, everyone's not injured, they can potentially... I can't do it. I can't say it. No.
Oh, go on. What are you going to say?
They'll do well. I don't know about title contenders. Just get the camera off me. Stand this up. I'm done.
Is that Chunkz
Smithy, let's come to you then.
Contenders?
Smithy, let's come to you. Let's get your opinion.
Yeah, it's interesting hearing from Chunkz there and hearing from Harry in the week. I do think Spurs have had a fantastic window in the fact that they've identified areas they needed strengthening. We've now got strength in depth. I do feel like the centre-back area was an area that we did need to strengthen. I think if we'd have got Skriniar in, who's a fantastic centre-back, then I would probably agree with that sentiment. I just think I look at Man City and Liverpool and would put them as favourites, but I do think it will be a good season for Spurs. I hope that's answered your question. Joe. There we go. 0 seconds on the clock. Right, next up, West Bromwich Albion. As I say, not been the perfect start for West Brom. 1 point from 4 games, not been brilliant. They did have that 3-goal lead against Chelsea. Now, the question we're asking, though, is have West Brom done enough to stay in the Premier League? Bayo, let's come to you. Your thoughts on West Brom so far this season?
I think it'll be tough. I ain't going to lie. I think West Brom will be tough. I mean, they showed in the first half against Chelsea they can score goals. But again, the second half, they conceded it. And I just think when you was watching the game, you knew when Chelsea got the first one, you was like, Chelsea are going to score some goals here. West Brom is the team that at the moment now, I don't want to say that I fear for them, but I think it's going to be very, very hard for them to stay up.
Chunkz, West Brom fans watching this, is there any hope for them? Have you seen any signs of that they might survive? What do you see?
No disrespect, peoples. I feel like West Brom is home time. I think they go back to the Championship alongside Fulham. Those are the two teams that, for me, I can guarantee are gone.
He said it.
I'm not a football analyst, but I'm a social media influencer. So please cut me some slack. But that's just my opinion.
We heard the word guarantee come out of your mouth there, Chunkz. It's too late.
They're gone, bro. They're gone.
Right, let's move on to the next one then. This is West Ham. Only one senior player signed this summer. That was Kufal. We also lost Grady Diangana. So I want to know from you, Bayo, are West Ham fans right to be angry at the board?
Listen, I ain't going to lie. I think West Ham fans are always angry at the board. I can't remember a time where they've been happy. Listen, West Ham fans, don't jump on me. That's just what I think. But listen, I actually think West Ham's squad is pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm good friends with Antonio, and I think They've started. Have they won their last 2 games? Have I got it right? Or
Yeah,
have I got it
against
wrong?
Leicester and Wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Listen, I know fans always want signings and want to feel like the team's moving forward. But I think West Ham will be all right this season. I truly do.
What about you, Chunkz? Do you think West Ham are going to stay in the division with the lack of spending this summer?
Yeah, permanently proven team. They're going to stay in there, guaranteed. I feel like the players they have right now are good enough to stay in the Premier League. So I understand them being angry, but they shouldn't worry too much. I don't know what they want to achieve, but I feel like with the team they have, they can definitely do well this year.
Okay, last but certainly not least, it is Wolves. Busy window for Nuno, of course. Diogo Jota, Matt Doherty out the door, but some solid signings in Fabio Silva and Nelson Semedo. The question we're asking, though, is was Raul Jimenez signing his new contract, which went a little bit under the radar, I thought. Was that the best bit of business? Fantastic player, in my opinion. Bayo, let's come to you. Good bit of business this. Were you surprised other clubs didn't come in for Raul Jimenez? Proven scorer, 17 goals in the Prem last season.
See, me, I would have had him at Liverpool all day, every day. I would have had
all
him.
day.
Listen, I like Jota. I think he's a good, but I think he's like a young, modern Costa. And I like the way Costa plays. I think he gets into less scraps than Costa, but he's aggressive. He scores goals. He puts himself about. He's got good technical ability. So I think for Wolves, it's a great bit of business. But yeah, I'm surprised that more teams. I can't believe Man United didn't go get him. I think he's a real good player.
Joe, very quickly, would you have taken him at Man United? Just following on
Every day of the week, but I think he probably would have cost Manchester United too much. We weren't going to pay that money, Smithy.